again, this is the large-scale kidney, blow-up of a pyramid, medulla with the nephron, and then this is just a glomerulus, blow-up of one glomerulus with the Bowman's capsule. So here we have the renal capsule is the red outer part, the thick fibrous covering. Cortex is the inner ring where all the blood supply is and our nephron starts. Then we have a bunch of pyramids, which are the cone-shaped structures. These are in the medulla, and they're separated by columns. All right, and then when we go to the nephron, remember these all filled with nephrons. The nephrons are going to start with your glomerulus. It's wrapped in the Bowman's capsule, or glomerular capsule. And when we filter out the stuff we want to get rid of, filtrate, it's going to go down the proximal convoluted tubule, the loop, the distal convoluted tubule, and end up in our collecting duct. Okay, now it's urine, connecting duct. From the collecting duct, we'll go to the minor calyx, which is at the bottom of each pyramid. It's a little cup. The major calyx is kind of this shared area between a couple of the minors. The renal pelvis right here before it exits. And then we're going to go down a ureter to the bladder. Okay. Here you can see the afferent arteriole. It's bigger than the efferent. Question on that kidney? So again, we'll have the shared pharynx area. The nasopharynx would be up here, but food starts in the mouth, right? So we have the oropharynx, right? The back of the mouth. We have the uvula, is that little flap you can see that keeps food from going up your nose. So oropharynx, the shared pharynx laryngo area, and then we're going to go through the esophagus down. Peristaltic wave, right? Involuntary swallowing. Goes through a sphincter into the into the stomach, cardia, fundus, body, pylorus. Then we'll have another sphincter at the end of that. Here, and they cut away so you can see it. This is the duodenum, this little section right here. That's the duodenum. In the duodenum, you can see, if you look in there, the green bile duct that's coming from these guys. And you can also see a little white duct for the pancreatic. They're joining the duodenum, and joining in the duodenum. Here's your pancreas. I always say it looks like fish bones in it. Pancreas. That, by the way, is your spleen, not part of the digestive system. That's your spleen. So they could tag it here. Duodenum, and then jejunum, ileum would be at the end here where we're going to have the other sphincter that goes to the cecum. The appendix is not on this one, so cecum. Ascending would have transverse, descending, and sigmoid you would have to have one you can flip behind it because it would be an S on the back side. And then that goes out the rectum and the anus. Gallbladder is the green guy. Liver. Any questions on that? This, knowing the parts, which is a big part of it, but what happens there, like what's an important feature of it, or why it's important, something like that. You remember to do that faster. All right. So, female reproduction. I don't know how hard you guys could see it on the thing, but the ovary is the little yellow, round thing in here, okay, structure. And then this red that comes up on it is, first it kind of looks like fingers, and those are called the fimbriae. So the kind of red fingers are grabbing it, come look at it after. That's the fimbriae that's going to sweep the egg up. It's going to carry it through the fallopian tube or the uterine tube into the uterus. This structure is the uterus. We have a muscular lining in there, the myometrium, which shows the contractions. But the inner endometrium, that's the part that gets shed every month. All right, so this is where the baby would develop. The bladder is underneath right there. That's really all you need on. And then ovaries, estrogen, right? Actually, I don't see. I don't know if we have an endocrine one up here, but we'll go through the other organs for endocrine as well. Somebody get the other one? No. This bag. This is a blow up of the uterus with the ovaries here. This one's got like conditions in it, so there's a card that tells you why it's got all this stuff in it. But basically your ovaries are going to be out here. The fimbriae is what looks like the little fingers. And it's going to pull down the fallopian tube or the uterine tube into the uterus. Okay? And then that would be the vaginal canal. There we go. So that's also all right. So then for the male, the biggest thing, again, remember, this one is something that it can be either side depending on what structure they're looking for. Testes, testosterone, right? This is going to be a structure called the epididymis, where sperm kind of start to mature. And then this is going to be the vas deferens, the tube that the sperm go up. And then they actually come into an ejaculatory duct right here at the prostate. This heart-shaped thing, this is the bladder by the way, this heart-shaped thing is the prostate gland for men. And their urethra comes all the way through. So the names for the like 3 different areas of the urethra, it's just they name it according to where it's going. But prostate gland here, this is just another view of the testes from the other side, in which case the epididymis would be more like over here, these dots here. That's really about it for that. Arteries versus veins. Arteries are bigger, thicker, right? Thicker tunica media, which is the smooth muscle layer. And the veins, while they have a thinner tunica media, their inner tunica intima, the endothelial layer, is going to have valves, right? Because they have low pressure and it protects from backflow. Tunica externa would be the outside connective tissue layer, elastic layer. That's all for those. And then the vessels. Let me grab the vessels. Right, we looked at the ones that come off the heart, but there's a bunch of other ones listed and things that you filled in. So important ones to know, we have the arch of the aorta. The arch of the aorta, and then the aorta dips down, right? It becomes descending aorta. So down here we have the abdominal aorta. Comes down around the belly button region, maybe a little less. And that splits off into the right and left external iliac arteries. Then if you're closer, we can see this actually has a little branch that goes on the inside to the pelvic region, the internal iliac arteries. Then we get down into thighs. What's the name for thigh area?
Femoral.
Femoral. So